Welcome back, fighters. It's your girl, Shantae Monet here, and you know the drill. If you're not subscribed yet, you need to hit that subscribe button, like, comment. Well, you can't comment yet, but you should comment at the end of this video. Let me know what you think, okay? And also share this video, because you know me, I'm trying to spread awareness, knowledge, and I can't do that if you guys aren't sharing it, okay? So now, pregnancy after chemo, after being diagnosed with cancer. I know that's one of the most top questions in women who are diagnosed with breast cancer or any type of cancer is, can they have kids after chemo? And the answer to that is hell yes, you can. You can definitely have kids. I'm gonna break it down right now for you guys. Let's get started. So, women freak out when they get diagnosed with cancer in regards to having more kids, especially if you're young and you don't have any kids, or you only have one and you always wanted more kids. That is my case scenario. Diagnosed in my 20s, I always wanted to have a huge family. I definitely knew I always wanted to have more than one kid. I have one amazing son. I wouldn't trade him for the world. And in fact, if he was the only kid I could have, I would be totally content with that, because he is just so amazing. Some people are content with having one kid, but I knew my entire life that I always wanted to have more than one kid. So for me, having more kids was always something I thought of after being diagnosed. Okay, my first oncologist, I'm not going to say her name, my first oncologist, she was totally against having more kids, 100%. Let me give you guys a little bit of back knowledge, just in case you forgot. I'm diagnosed with HER2 positive breast cancer, which means this cancer feeds off of estrogen. I'm a woman full of estrogen. If you get pregnant, your estrogen hormones skyrocket to the roof. So now you figure, HER2 positive cancer, getting pregnant, not so good of an idea or a mix. So she was like, more kids? Definitely not. No. Her exact words was, do you want to be alive for the kid that you have, or do you want to risk having more kids? And so when you put it like that, it's kind of like, no, I won't have any more kids. But I just was not happy with that answer. I don't usually take no for an answer, especially when I feel strong about something. I found another oncologist. She is amazing, Dr. Lake. I love her because she is straightforward, but she gives you your options. She let you know, straight up what it is. And she did that with me. So her take on it was, you can't have kids now, but you can definitely have them in the future. For sure, the window is definitely open for you to have kids, healthy kids, and you to be healthy, in the future. And I was super stoked when she said that to me. I was hyped. I was like, yo, thank you. Where were you this whole entire time? I was sitting home sad because of the last oncologist, and I just want to... Anyways, everyone has their beliefs, and that's the thing about the medical profession. Everyone has their belief. Each doctor has their belief in what they feel is the right thing to do, because there's multiple routes to take whenever you're doing anything. So that's why it's always good to get a second opinion, because the medical profession is a little bit opinionated. It's not all by 100% facts and research. It's opinion too. And this oncologist, this doctor, her opinion on having more kids after being diagnosed with HER2 was just no. The other one, she was like, yes, just at the right time. And I like that. So what is it about chemo that ruins your chances to have more kids in the future? So chemo, if you know anything about it, it kills fast-growing cells, okay? So that's how you get cancer. Cancer is an abnormal growth of a cell. It is growing so fast that it creates a tumor, and it overthrows your body. And that's how cancer pretty much works, without using all of the high-techy medical terms. So chemo, it kills all the fast-growing cells. Your hair, for instance, is one of the fastest growing cells in your body. This is why you lose your hair when you're on chemo. Everywhere. You lose your hair everywhere. So, now with your eggs, which is also a cell, it may be damaged in the process, okay? And your ovaries may be damaged in the process. So there is a chance, let me tell you guys, there is a chance that after chemo, you may still be able to have kids. 100% the traditional way. The man, the girl, and you guys do your thing and you have kids like normal. That is still an option. But there is a possibility that you may not be able to have kids after chemo. Okay, so for me, just because the possibility is there, I did not want to take that chance because I know I want to have kids. I don't want to come out of chemo and later down the line realize, oh my God, I just can't have kids. I just can't do it. And now my chances are over. I mean, your chances are still not over because you can always adopt. That's another option. We'll talk about that later down the line. But for me, I wanted to pass on my genes, these beautiful genes I have here. I would like to pass that on. Having kids with my own eggs was important to me. So you have options. I did in vitro, okay? And what that is, it's called IVF. I'm not sure what the acronym stands for. Hold on one second. Let me look it up and stop being lazy. It looks like I'm only forgetting the very last word, which is fertilization. So in vitro fertilization. So IVF. That's the route that I took. All right. That is when the doctor takes your matured eggs and they store it away for you for when you're ready to have more kids. They freeze it and you can come back 3 years later and have more kids. The eggs will still be perfectly healthy, perfectly young. So if you froze eggs at 30, they're going to be like 30 of age eggs. Not like, let's say 10 years now, you're 40, you want to have, you know how they say the older you are, the more high risk you are with, Down syndrome in your eggs and stuff like that. So that will not happen because your eggs is frozen in real time. Like at that stage, it's at the age that you're at. When storing your eggs, there are 2 routes you can take. And I suggest one over the other, but you can do as you want. I would not suggest the other one. All right. So the first way to freeze your eggs is to freeze your embryos. Okay. This is just your eggs by itself and you freeze it. Or you can freeze fertilized eggs. You take your significant other, fertilize the eggs, and then the doctor will take those fertilized eggs and freeze them. And when you're ready, he'll put them back in you. Yeah, just like that. All right, but I choose one method over the other. When I was deciding on which way to take, I was madly in love with some guy. I'm just going to say it. A lot of people don't know this, but we were married. And we were trying to decide, like, are we going to fertilize the egg? Because we knew that we wanted to have more kids. We were just so in love with each other. So we wanted to have more kids. But then I thought about it. I'm like, I think it's just best if we just go with storing my eggs because you never know what the future holds. And good thing I did that because there's no ring on this finger. Wait. There's no ring on this finger. So I think the best route to take is always just freeze your eggs, solely your eggs, okay? Because once you fertilize the egg with your significant other, it's technically not just your egg anymore. It's now his, okay? So no matter what happens in the future, if you guys do decide to break up, he can decide, I think, not to go forth with carrying a baby with you. And then it just turns into a whole bunch of legal issues that you just don't want. I don't see any purpose in, I don't even see why that's an option, in fertilizing your egg before you freeze it. I just don't get it. Now, if your significant other was like on the verge of like maybe passing away, maybe he's sick with something, I don't know, and you like, I want to carry on this legacy no matter what, no matter who I'm with, then go ahead and do that. But that's like an extreme circumstance. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. And then think about it. Now you want to have kids and you're with someone else and you're going to have kids with somebody else's sperm already in that egg. It's just weird. So the best way to do it, I would always say, is just to store your eggs as is and freeze only your eggs. So those are the 2 options you can do with in vitro. Now, the process in doing that is, I can't remember everything, but I do recall I had to take hormones to bring my eggs to its most mature level, because that's when the doctors want to bring the most healthiest, maturest eggs to freeze, because the chances of you getting pregnant later down the line depends on how mature those eggs are. So they're going to go in, they're going to dive in, and they're going to take hopefully 20, 30 eggs, whichever amount your body was able to produce in that time before they go in and take those eggs. So for me, I think I was able to produce between 15 to 20 eggs. So, which is a good amount, a good decent amount, to have multiple chances to try to get pregnant if I can't get pregnant when the time arrives. The hormone that you take to make your eggs mature, you have to inject it in yourself. I'm afraid of needles, okay? When I had to learn to inject myself, I freaked, but I got over it and I did it. So it's a small syringe. It really doesn't even hurt. Like when you're looking at the syringe, it's like, whoa, it's freaking huge. And I have to squeeze all of that in me. I can't do this. But then it becomes like super easy. So you just grab some stomach fat, stick it, and inject it, and you're good to go. You do that for, I can't remember how long, for however long the doctor tells you to. You make an appointment, and he is going to go in and take those great mature eggs out of you and freeze them for later. You can freeze them for however long you need to freeze them. So whenever you're ready, it's there. But let me tell you, freezing your eggs is not free. This procedure, it can cost anywhere from like $15,000 and up. And they have like a program for people who are diagnosed with cancer to cut them a break, where they kind of like cut the price in half. So I end up paying, I think only like $5,000 for the procedure, to have my eggs stored. And then they even gave me the first year free to store my eggs afterwards. So that's a plus too. That always helps. And then now I pay about $150 quarterly, every 3 months for them to keep my eggs stored. So the reason why I chose this route is because I don't want to go to have a baby and find out that I can't, and my eggs are ruined or my ovaries are ruined. So I just want to have that for backup just in case. I may not even need to use those eggs. By the time I'm ready to have more kids, which is going to be soon, I may be able to just do it and get pregnant. Going through chemo is obviously not the right time to have a kid, although I've heard stories, very successful stories, of a woman getting pregnant and still enduring chemo and still just as healthy as ever. Okay, that has happened, all right? But it's not the best time to have a kid during chemo, radiation, and you're going through surgeries and stuff like that. So you kind of want to wait. For me, I wanted to wait for everything to pretty much settle. And now things have settled. So I'm ready to have a kid, okay? So I'm looking for someone. Where are you? Come on. It's time to submit your applications, okay? Let me tell you what I'm looking for. You need to be tall and funny. You can stimulate my body, but can you stimulate my mind? That's important. You gotta have ambition and motivation to want to do whatever it is that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be intelligent, because no one likes a dummy, okay? No one likes a dummy. As a matter of fact, totally off topic, I'm gonna tell you guys this story. I dated a guy who I thought was intelligent. I'm hoping he never come across this video, because he'll know who it is. Who I thought was intelligent, younger than me. I never dated a guy younger than me before. I always dated men older than me, but he was younger than me. And oh my God, I asked him to pass me the seasoning out of the cabinet, and he was like, oh, you want this one, the Cahoon? I'm like, what the hell is a Cahoon seasoning? I never heard of it before. Cajun seasoning. Wait, that's not it. One more thing. I was talking to him about flying and how I cannot stand, like, I would go sick, with, having jet lag. So we're talking about planes and me not liking jet lag. And he said, you can't have jet lag on a plane. You got to be on a jet. I broke up with him instantly. Couldn't do it. There's no way in hell I'm going to be with a dummy. Back to what's more important. I'm ready, guys. So send in those applications. Hit my DM up. All right. It's time for me to find the love of my life and start a future. And let me let you know right now, I'm trying to have a minimum of 3 more kids. Okay. So if you have 4 kids already, I'm not for you. Or maybe I am, because I don't mind combining. Now, outside of those options, you have other options. Okay. If you're a person who already did chemo, didn't save any eggs, you can always just pray for the best and hope that you can have kids later down the line. Or you can always use someone else's eggs, another woman's eggs who shares the same genes as you. That is really expensive. I can't tell you how much it is because I didn't look into it, but it is expensive. So that is not the only options. You can always adopt. That's great. I plan on adopting in my future. I feel like I'm a great parent. I'm a great role model, and I definitely want to help a kid who was unable to, receive amazing parents. And I definitely have I have it in my future to want to adopt later. So yes, adoption's always an option. That's good. You also have surrogacy, and that's when another woman carries the baby for you. So in surrogacy, you can get someone else's egg, someone else's sperm, and the lady can carry it for you. Whatever works. A surrogate just holds the baby, carries it for the 9 months for you, and kudos to the person that does that. And make sure that you don't have to endure the pregnancy yourself. You'll only be dealing with the mental, not the physical part of pregnancy. The reason why I look into surrogacy is because if you remember, I was diagnosed with HER2 positive breast cancer, which grows off of estrogen, and pregnancy, right, brings up your estrogen level to just very high. And it doesn't go well together. So although I have my eggs stored, if and when I meet my significant other and we're ready to have kids, I would like to look into surrogacy for someone to carry the baby for me. It'll still be my egg, it'll still be his sperm, it'll still be our genes, our baby gene-wise, but someone else will be holding the baby in their womb and carrying it and protecting it for the 9 months. Wow, kudos to that person. I'm telling you, your body changes, your mind changes, you get attached because you feel the first kick, you know what I'm saying? Kudos to whoever's been a surrogate. I give you OD props. You deserve it. So that's why I look into surrogacy. And when I first was researching what I was going to do in terms of having more kids, I realized surrogacy is very expensive, and it should be. Someone's risking their whole body, life, going through pain for you to be happy and have a kid. I would totally pay that to anyone who is willing to do that for someone. That's the most selfishless act someone can do, have a baby for someone else. Anyways, so it is very expensive. But one way around the price for surrogacy is to ask someone a close friend, a family member who's willing to do that for you. I mean, usually family members, they ain't that cool. They ain't really trying to do that for you. I asked everyone in my family and I asked some of my friends, and no one's really trying to do that for me. So I think when it's time for me to have more kids and I'm ready, I am going to risk having the kid on my own. And I'm okay with that. That is it for today. I hope I was able to give you some clarity on having more kids after chemo. Just know that the option is still there. The chances are still there. Do not give up. I promise you, there are options and there are ways. You just got to find it. All right. So I will see you guys next time on Fighting HER2. Oh, whoa. Wait. Like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to send in those applications, baby. Get in my DM. I'm trying to find the next one. Bye, guys.